Welcome back to Great Day Houston. As a kid, he was a self-professed bookworm. When he grew up, he had a comic strip that became so popular online, it actually became a movie, Diary of a Wimpy Kid. We recently caught up with Jeff Kinney to talk to him about his new book that's sure to make you smile. Jeff, early on, you wanted to be a newspaper cartoonist, so something in print caught your attention as a young child. What was it?
It was the magic, I think, of going downstairs in the morning, and my father would have been downstairs first. He had opened the page to the newspaper, to the comics page, and there was just something about that. To start your day every day with comics was really a great way to start the day.
Yeah, and then in college, you created your own comic strip.
I did. I had a comic strip called Ig Doof, which was not destined to take over the world. So I spent about 3 years trying to get Ig Doof syndicated after college and failed.
Yeah, well, and a lot of people have those stories, and then eventually you don't fail. Diary of a Wimpy Kid. I love it so much right now because my son is in 8th grade, and he's going through all of it, right? That whole transition that kids make in middle school. We get a lot of folks who say to us, how do I get my book published? How do I get, and sometimes they meet failure, oftentimes they meet failure, but you did something a little different. You started it as an online story.
That's right. While I was working on Diary of a Wimpy Kid, I started releasing it in daily doses. And it actually just predated blogging. So it was kind of like fictional blogging before blogging became a thing. Yeah. And I was able to get a big online audience. In fact, when I finished my last page, I had 12 million readers online. Yeah, but when you showed it to publishers, did you get a yes right away, or did that take a minute? Yeah, I didn't really ever officially show it to publishers. I walked around with a sample packet at New York Comic Con, and it turns out that's really a trade show. It's not really for editors to connect with writers, but I happened to meet an editor at a booth, and he liked what I had, so that's how I got started. Yeah, what's your best advice for folks out there? Because like I said, I get asked that question all the time. What do? I have a book or I have an idea. What do I do? Well, there's this book called Outliers by Malcolm Gladwell, and his idea is that to become an expert at anything, you need about 10,000 hours, and 10 years, really. And I think that a lot of kids these days, or adults, you think of something, you put it up online, then you get an instant reaction. Right. But to do something that's lasting, you need to work at a craft. So I would recommend that somebody takes their time at doing what they love. Yeah, because you're right. And a lot of times people's motivation is the back end of being successful. You got to do it because you love it. Did the success come to you as kind of a surprise? I mean, on the New York Times bestselling list since the publication of the first book, you're celebrating your 10th anniversary, almost 200 million copies in print around the world. That's amazing. Yeah, it's been crazy. I feel like ever since the point of publication, I've felt like I'm on the Truman Show. I've gotten to meet presidents and world leaders and sports stars and athletes, and it's really crazy. And the fact that I'm here right now in Houston is crazy to me. Yeah. I live in a little town called Plainville, a population of 8,000 in Well, you own a little bookstore called An Unlikely Story? I do. Because this is an unlikely story. It is an unlikely story, yes. All right. You, of course, had it turned into movies as well, so that's just the affirmation. We were seeing it on a screen. Yeah. Yeah, it's fun. We had 4 movies, and it's been really wild, actually, having that be a part of my life, to be on a movie set. And I just love having all of these experiences. I wish I could live forever because there's so much to do. Yeah, well, it does live forever when it's in print and when it's on film. Okay, now the ultimate, though, you just had a Wimpy Kid balloon. Yes. The Macy's Thanksgiving Day Parade, there's a Wimpy Kid balloon. Yeah, that's really cool. To be walking down Fifth Avenue with your giant balloon looking over your shoulder, and then there's Snoopy up ahead, and there's Kermit the Frog behind you, so that's an honor to be a part of that piece of American history. All right, you're currently on a world tour with your new book, The Getaway. So explain to us the plot of this. The Getaway is about the family deciding to forego the stress of the holidays and Christmas itself and go on a family vacation. But of course, the idea of a family vacation, those words don't really belong together in a phrase. So of course, things go disastrously wrong, but it was really fun to write. Yeah, and in every book, there's a lesson. And there are some, things. I think what's great about a book like this, or any book really, is when we read it and bring part of our own experience with it, right? So it's a collaboration in that sense. That's right. But what is it overall that you want people to kind of leave with? Well, the lesson of The Getaway is don't go on a family vacation. But I'm hoping kids will laugh. You know, the thing that I want out of these books, there aren't really moral lessons in the books, but what I like about the books is that kids feel successful at having completed a book like this, and they learn that reading is pleasurable. So often parents give kids books that are not ready for.
Yeah, War and Peace at the age of 3.
Right, and
Yes,
they say, hey, I don't like this. You know, I don't like reading. Reading's bad.
Yeah.
So I'm trying to tell kids reading is good, and hopefully they'll go on to bigger and better things.
And that's a great point. My son is dyslexic, and he struggled in the beginning. But what broke the ice was a friend of mine asked me, she said, what does he love? I go, he loves lizards. He loves lizards. And she showed up with a stack of books on lizards, and he wasn't afraid to open the page and then begin reading. And so, great point, especially with children. And then let me just end with the importance of children reading early.
The importance of reading early is, I think any time a kid can have a book in their hands, a book becomes a treasured object to a kid, especially when they own it. And there are so many kids who don't own any books at all. You know, some kids who are underprivileged don't have a single book in their house. So I think if we can give kids the gift of a book, that's really a sacred act.
Yeah, you know, I'm going to buy your book, and we have a book drive every year at KHOU 11, and I'm going to make sure that kids get this book.
Thank you very much.
Thank you very much.